While Penobscot County works on plans to relocate the jail from Bangor to Hamden, a local group has formed to offer an alternative. Hoping to keep folks out of jail rather than expanding the number of beds, local activists have created the Penobscot County Diversion and Problem-Solving Pilot Initiative. Instead of booking and sending those arrested for crimes to jail, they propose certain demographics should instead be connected to resources that can better address the root cause. Divided into 9 tracks, this includes those committing poverty-driven crimes like petty theft, all the way to crimes committed by veterans, juveniles, and first-time offenders. Organizers say diverting some people in these categories from jail to support resources will not only lead to better personal outcomes, but decreases the need for a new jail that houses more inmates.
This proposal would reduce the number of people who need to be in here, and it would reduce the number of people who go back in here through a revolving door. We know this works because it works with our treatment and recovery courts. We need to expand upon that.
To view the full proposal, you can visit our website. We reached out to Penobscot County Sheriff Troy Morton today for a response, and he said he wanted to review the details of the proposal before comment.